Howdy folks, this is Jared with Fluty Homestead, and today I thought I'd give you a little update on what's going on around the place and show you how the barn's looking now. Okay, here's the barn, and as you can see, we have the shed on the front now, and I really like the shed on it, and that gives me a lot more storage room, and I can get the tractor in anytime I want, and it's 10 feet wide, and then with the overhang is 32 feet, and really turned out good. And I actually went ahead and bought these 2x4s for the rafters, and that just got it done fast. It was expecting rain, and I had a 2-day gap in the rain, so I just went and got them and put them up and got it over with. And they kind of match my locust posts really right now. And got the doors all on. Here's the crib door. I don't have a latch made for it yet, but I've started organizing the crib. As you can see, we got some of our tools hung up. I try to keep one of every kind of digging tool in my barn. And I got my pitchforks and stuff. And then the back, I haven't organized none of this yet. I've got my saddles. I'm putting saddle racks here. And then I've started bringing all my harnesses up. I think I got 4 or 5 good sets of harness. I've just got to get it all hung up. That whole barrel's got harness rigging in it. And get my collars hung and such. But this will take me a few days to get things hung up how I want them. Get some of my bridles up. And this, I haven't really done anything in this stall yet. I mainly just have it first. I got my wheelbarrow in here, my gravely. And I've got to get a piece for the carburetor on this, and it'll be ready for work. I had a good friend of mine rebuild it. And as you see, I got this door on here with a good latch. And I made this latch. I'll show you. This is the lock for it. And you have to pull this lock out. This is just a locust peg. And the horse is wanting to say hello. This is Reuben. He looks like a giant in this on that little doorway. But then to open the door, you just slide the bolt over. And that's just 2 pieces of wood I ripped with a saw, about 1.5 inches. And then I took a piece of oak here and made the lock here. So, and it just locks real easy right there. I learned the hard way about needing a lock for it. It goes into this jamb, and I have a stop here, that way it can't go but so far. Excuse me, horse. And as you see here, got the hay manger up, and it goes up into the loft about 2 feet. And if the horses will go out here, I'll show you what I've done. But I had a piece of this belt rubber. We call it mining belt. It comes from the coal mines. It's part of a conveyor belt that they carry the coal out of the mines. And I put it here over my French drain by the door to help keep water out, and it's really done a good job. And I put it under this bottom log, and I tacked it up to the bottom. That way it's kind of like a big gutter out there. Any rain or water that hits that runs right off into the French drain before it comes into my stall. It has worked really good. And the horses really like it in here. It's good and dry. And I like it a lot better than our other barn. They've really enjoyed it. So I'll take you on around now and show you the finished on the back side. Here's the water system we fixed. And this is just my French drain that comes from behind the barn that catches the rainwater. And there's a coal seam back there that runs water about all the time. And I just put a piece of plastic under my French drain up about 2-3 feet. And the plastic and the pipe stick into the tub, and I have an overflow cut out. And this piece of rubber here is for, I had some frogs in here the other day staying, and they got in, but they couldn't get out. So I put that piece of rubber in there, and them little frogs can crawl up there, and that floats enough where they can get out. And I have 2 drain holes here, and I'm going to be putting another joint of this 4-inch pipe that's solid, and I'm going to run it from here all the way down to the ditch. That way it does away with all this mud I have. And it's been muddy here for a long time, so that'll cure that problem. So we'll go behind the barn now and check it out. Okay, here is the bank behind the barn. And as you can see, I've started the outline of my fence. And I've set 2 of my corner posts so far. The fence will come from this old fence to here. And then, of course, it'll go up behind this cherry tree up to here's my next post. And I'm going ahead and get my corners established, and then I'm going to run a string along the whole area of it. That way I can set my next posts right in a good straight line with it, and hopefully get the horses in on this greener grass. See, this is getting nice and green all the way around behind my other garden. So that'll get the horses in here before long. Okay, here's the back view of the barn. It looks about the same back here. I have the door on the dormer now. Still haven't built my ramp. But really have enjoyed the barn. And I've got this fence out here rerouted, and I'll show you what I've been doing. I've been filling in this hole here with a bunch of rocks. There's a big hole here from when I dug out to build the barn. We've made a garden out here now. And if you notice, I tore the pin off this chicken coop. And this is one of our next projects. This coop is going to be moved. I'm going to pick it up with the tractor, and I'm going to take it right up here to this flat spot. I don't know if you remember, I had a gate right here, and I've moved all of it back about 50 feet. And the new coop is going to go right here, and the run will be behind it along this little flat. So that'll give me a nice good flat place for my coop, and I'm going to bury the wire in the ground and try to make it really coon proof. I'll show you this little garden we've made. It's a pretty good garden. It's about, I don't know, 30 feet wide, and let's see, 8 and 8, 16, 32. Them posts are a little over 8 feet, some of them 10, so about 40 feet long. And so far in this one, we've planted 3 little rows of potatoes, and they're barely starting to come up in places. And these will be for our new potatoes. We'll come in here and dig these, you know, when they're small, and eat them. And then below them, I've planted 32 cabbages out here, and they're really doing good. I've got a little bit of grass coming in here now I'm gonna have to get out. And I'll take you on down behind here if I don't get an electric fence. I had to put electric around this. Our big cat seen all this nice loose dirt and thought I'd made him a giant litter box. So I had to put a stop to that foolishness. So it cured it. Okay, down here below the cabbage, we've got about 150 of the candy onions down here. I think the rows, there's a double row on the back there and up here. And also behind the potatoes, I took a chance on this. Let me get down close. If I can zoom in a little more. This little green you see right here is corn. And I planted this corn in March. I don't remember what day it was. But in my zone, I'm not even supposed to be planting corn until the 2nd week of May. Really, what they recommend by frost date. But I went ahead and planted it, and it's been frosted on 3 times and been below freezing probably 3 times, and it come up. So I don't know if it'll do any good or not, but I wanted to try it. And they're just 2 short rows, so if I lost it, I wouldn't be out a whole lot, but a handful of seed. So far it's all come up. And we'll see how good it does though. But this is Honey Select. And I planted it good and deep when I planted it. So maybe that helped it. You can see the back of the barn here. Where this hay manger is, I've still got to build the shed on the back here. But I'll get that in due time. Beautiful evening here. Today's the April the 18th, the first day of turkey season. This morning it was 38 degrees and the wind was blowing like crazy. So I didn't even make it to my setup, and I turned around and come home. It was just so windy. But everything is looking beautiful and green. The dogwoods is all blooming. The poplars is getting their leaves. Having to cut the grass already. So, really enjoying spring. I'll take you up here and show you what else I've been into. Everything is looking really good up here around the house. Flowers is all blooming. Trees is getting green. I'll take you over here and show you the raised bed. It has really took off. We've had some nice warm days, and now we've had this cold front, which is dogwood winter. Oh, here's our azalea bushes. Some of y'all flower gardeners might like to see. They've been in beautiful bloom this year. Got one purple and two pink. Done really nice. The peach tree, the blooms are all gone, and it is loaded down with peaches. Little tiny, about big as your pinky nail. And here's a little bubby bush. Some of you old timers might know what this is. These get the little black blooms open up, and they smell beautiful, like kind of like a peachy banana smell. So it won't be long they'll be blooming. Here in the raised bed, the kale is almost ready to get a mess. It's grew a lot. And the spinach has been a little slower, but it's getting there. You could pick it for baby spinach right now. The onions, we've been picking green onions already. They've been doing great. The candy onions is starting to grow pretty good. And this is the romaine lettuce. Looks really nice. And this is the butterhead, and it is looking beautiful as well. It's tripled in size. Here's some more of it. These are some flowers that I started in here. And the black-seeded Simpson is coming along really good. Pretty thick. I'm going to have to thin it out some. And won't be long we'll be able to eat a little mess of it. And the broccoli and cauliflower is looking nice. Got to get in here now that's dry again and weed it. And we've got all kinds of little pumpkins here come up from last year. We had threw some old jack-o'-lanterns in here that we'd carved that we grew. And I think every seed that was in them come up. We probably got 100 pumpkin plants. I don't remember which kind of pumpkins they were. But we're going to transplant some of them and see how good they do. Really looking good. Got to get in here and weed now. Been kind of not as pretty out the last few days. Here's some little tomato plants come up from our little, I think it was a Juliet tomato plant for last year. So we'll thin these out and transplant a few of those as well. There's the more other pots of the onions and lettuce. We'll go up on the hill now and I'll show you around. Okay, this garden is tilled up, and there's 2 rows of beans that is starting to sprout in the very back. That's rattlesnake beans. And the little blueberry bush here is loaded with blooms, so I think it'll do well this year. Right here behind the peas, they ain't doing too hot, but I figured that ground might be iffy. It's a lot of clay. Tilled this and planted some beets on this patch. Okay, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll have some more videos coming up soon, and we're going to be doing a lot of projects around the place, so make sure you like and subscribe, and I love y'all and appreciate you. I hope you have a very blessed day.